Did you know that in 1978 an entire airplane disappeared inside the Congo rainforest? All 115 passengers vanished without a trace. No evidence was found, no bodies were recovered, and nothing was left behind. In 1992, a secret military laboratory was reportedly established in Congo, and even talking about the experiments conducted there was considered dangerous. Then, in 2009, a scientist claimed that he witnessed a man turning into a tree in the Congo jungle. The very next day, that scientist himself mysteriously disappeared. What I'm about to tell you today is so terrifying that your mind may refuse to believe it. Come, let's open these top-secret files together. Today you are about to see the true face of Congo, but if you have a weak heart, it may be better not to watch this video, because what you are about to hear might disturb your sleep. Now, let's begin the dark stories of Congo. Part 1 is the mystery of the missing plane, Flight 571. On March 23, 1978, a passenger aircraft departed from Brazzaville, heading toward Kinshasa. The flight number was 571, and there were 115 passengers and 7 crew members on board. It was supposed to be a normal journey. The weather was clear and everything seemed routine. The aircraft took off, and for the first 15 minutes the flight was smooth. The pilot remained in constant contact with the control tower, and everything seemed perfectly normal. But after those 15 minutes, the story suddenly changed. The aircraft was flying over the dense Congo rainforest when something strange happened. The pilot's voice suddenly changed, and he sounded frightened. He told the control tower that they were seeing something below them. Something in the forest was glowing. He asked what that bright light could possibly be. The control tower asked him to explain more clearly. The pilot replied that the light was rising, that it looked like a glowing ball coming up from the forest and moving toward the aircraft very quickly. Suddenly he shouted, "Oh my God!" Moments later there was a loud noise, followed by screams. After that, there was complete silence. The control tower repeatedly tried to contact the aircraft, calling out Flight 571, Flight 571, please respond. But there was no response at all. On the radar screen, the aircraft simply vanished. Rescue operations began immediately. Helicopters were deployed and search teams were sent into the jungle. The area where the plane was last detected was searched again and again. But the result was shocking. Nothing was found. No aircraft wreckage, no metal fragments, no seats, and no luggage. The most unbelievable part was that not a single body was recovered. How could 122 people simply disappear like that? The second part is about humans turning into trees, one of the most terrifying stories connected to Congo. In 2009, a French botanist named Dr. Pierre Lebrun traveled to Congo to study rare plant species. He was a respected scientist who ventured deep into the rainforest for research. During the first 2 weeks, everything went well. He regularly sent updates and collected plant samples. But in the third week, his diary entries began to change. One day he wrote that he had seen a very strange tree. There were markings on its bark that looked exactly like a human face, with eyes, a nose, and a mouth clearly visible. He wrote that it did not look natural and that it was extremely disturbing. The next day he recorded another entry saying that he had taken a sample from the tree. When he cut the bark, a liquid began to flow out that looked like blood. Even more disturbing was the smell, which resembled raw flesh. He wondered how something like that could be possible. The local villagers refused to go near the tree and called it the human tree. According to them, the tree had once been a human being, and the forest had transformed it. Scientifically, this seemed impossible, but Dr. Lebrun admitted that the tree was extremely unusual. His final diary entry described something even more shocking. He wrote that he had witnessed a living man slowly becoming part of the tree. The man's body was turning into bark while he screamed and begged for help. But there was no one there to save him, and Dr. Lebrun said he could do nothing. Those were the last words he ever wrote. After that, he disappeared forever. 3 months later, a search team went into the forest and found his campsite. His diary, notes, and equipment were all still there, but Dr. Lebrun himself was gone. The search team also found the tree described in his diary. It looked disturbingly like a human figure, with its mouth open as if it were screaming, and its eyes closed. The most terrifying detail was that the branches resembled human arms, and the shapes looked like fingers. When the team tried to cut a sample from the tree's bark, something horrifying happened. As soon as the knife touched the bark, the tree made a sound that witnesses described as a scream, exactly like a human cry. Terrified, the team members ran away. Local legends say the Congo forest is cursed and filled with mysterious forces. According to these beliefs, the forest can transform living beings into trees and takes revenge on those who harm it. Whether this is true or not remains a mystery. The third part is about a secret laboratory known as Operation Dark Forest. In 1992, after the Cold War had ended and the Soviet Union had collapsed, secret experiments were still being conducted around the world. Western intelligence agencies reportedly received information that a secret military laboratory was being built deep inside the Congo rainforest. The project was given the codename Operation Dark Forest. Very little information exists about who built the laboratory or why it was built. According to some documents, it was run by an international organization operating without direct government oversight. Their goal was to develop biological weapons unlike anything ever seen before by experimenting with unknown viruses and bacteria found in the Congo rainforest. In 2003, a journalist began investigating the story and managed to contact former workers from the facility. One worker claimed that terrifying experiments were conducted there, sometimes on animals and sometimes on humans. He said local villagers were captured and promised free medical treatment, but instead they were infected with experimental viruses for testing. Another worker described a disastrous incident. The scientists had created a new virus and tested it on a monkey, but the monkey escaped into the forest. Because the virus spread rapidly, the workers became terrified. Weeks later, a nearby village began reporting a strange illness, and the symptoms matched those of the experimental virus. Within 3 weeks, the entire village was wiped out, and about 80 people died. According to the testimony, the bodies were burned, and the village was destroyed, and the incident was officially declared a natural disease outbreak. When journalists later questioned the government about it, officials claimed the facility had once been a mining research site that had been shut down, but there were no mining records or permits to support that claim. Now let's talk about the reality in 2025. Has the situation in Congo improved? Sadly, the answer is no. In fact, conditions have become even worse. Civil conflicts continue in several regions, and people are still dying. Every month, dozens of bodies are discovered. Along with this, another major problem has emerged: illegal mining. The Congo's land contains valuable minerals such as cobalt, lithium, gold, and diamonds. These minerals are used in phones, laptops, and many other electronic devices around the world. In order to extract them, large areas of forest are destroyed and rivers become polluted with toxic chemicals. Even worse, many children are forced to work in dangerous mining conditions. If Congo once seemed mysterious and frightening because of the stories hidden within its forests, the reality today is even more tragic and heartbreaking.